I will be looking at two different programs, PowerPoint and Microsoft Word. This Analogies PowerPoint is what I used in my third grade classroom. Looking at the categories online, almost all things for the PowerPoint are accessible, and if they are not, they can easily be made accessible. First, the outline view is not automatic, but can easily be accessed. This is important so that the information is visible to students. The slide layout is also accessible. The slide layout can be easily changed, but they are currently in order so that students know what slide will be next and can familiarize themselves with the information. The reading order is also important so that slides are read in the correct order. Originally, if I were to hit tab on a slide, it looks like things are read in the correct order. I clicked rearrange order though, just to be sure. I learned that when things are read, they are read from 4 to 3 to 2 to 1, which seems a little bit different. The images also had no alternative text. This is important so students who have a visual impairment can make a visual image of the picture in their head. For example, I would write barking dog so that students knew what this picture was of. There is a bullet list for students, and note that if your list contained information and numbered information, then the number should have an importance. So these were all bulleted lists on this PowerPoint particularly. The links have descriptions and a hyperlink for students to click on so that they can easily have access to the website. So this is the description, and then the blue is the hyperlink, and it does work. There were no videos, tables, or math/science. However, if there were, it would be easy to access these. Overall, almost everything was accessible and easy to fix if they were not. The Word document that I looked at was very similar to the PowerPoint. Again, this is something that I used in my third grade classroom. To begin with, the headings I looked at. Now, this is technically a heading or a title, but if you were to click on it, it is in the header section, but it is not considered a heading in the style. So you would want to make sure that you click on heading to make sure these are headings. So it's again something easy to fix, but it wasn't something that was there. This is important to help organize your content and make it easier for your students to read. Next, I also looked at the images again. Unfortunately, there were no alternative text available once again for these images. However, it is an easy fix. Just go into Format Picture, and then you can type your alternative text. So I might put smiley face looking through magnify glass, so that students who might not physically be able to see that could create that visual representation in their minds. So next, I looked at the tables. These are important to create properly to understand what information is being organized. There was no header in this document. When I went into table, the header section was checked. However, it wasn't a true header. Luckily, this is an easy fix. I created a header and labeled it with what the information under that header would be. So, questions about your candy bar. And then answers to your questions. So that students looking at this could easily understand what information went in what column. The reading order was correct. Cells were not split or merged. The color was also fine in this particular document. The smiley faces are yellow. It looks like one of my smiley faces disappeared. The smiley faces are yellow, but that's not important. Most students would know that a smiley face is yellow, so even if they couldn't see one, they would probably picture that it's yellow in their head. So the color really doesn't undertake the importance of this document. There were no lists, no links, no forms, or math. However, like I said before, these would all be easy fixes. Overall, I didn't think about how many small changes you might need to make to benefit your students. I think it is super important to keep this in mind, especially since most of these are easy and time-efficient changes. Microsoft Word and PowerPoint are definitely two accessible, friendly programs from my perspective.